This is the third part of Terminology Made Simple. We used pattern analysis to simplify the language of dermatoscopy. Until now we talked about single pattern lesions, but of course there are also lesions with multiple patterns. If there is a lesion with two or more patterns, you have to ask yourself, is this lesion or are these patterns combined symmetrically or asymmetrically? Well, there are only three possibilities to combine two or more patterns symmetrically. For example, here, reticular lines and clots. On the left side, you see one possibility to combine these two patterns symmetrically, reticular lines in the center and clots at the periphery. In the center you can see the second possibility, clots in the center and reticular lines at the periphery. And on the right side, you can see the third and last possibility, reticular lines as a background and clots evenly dispersed throughout the lesion. All other combinations of any two patterns, are asymmetrical. If there is an asymmetric arrangement of patterns, we call it chaotic. Here is an example clinically. Dermatoscopically, you can see two patterns, clots at the periphery and structureless in the center. It's symmetric. Here is another lesion clinically. Dermatoscopically, you can see two patterns, reticular lines and structureless. The structureless part has multiple colors, but it's one pattern. And the two patterns, reticular lines and structureless, are combined asymmetrically. It's chaotic. Of course, there can also be combination of colors, and again, we differentiate between symmetric arrangement of two colors or asymmetric arrangement. On the left side, you see a symmetric arrangement of two colors, central hyperpigmentation. In the middle, you see a chaotic arrangement of colors. We call this arrangement variegate or speckled. On the right side, another chaotic arrangement of colors, eccentric hyperpigmentation. Now let's analyze or let's describe lesions according to pattern and colors. Here is a lesion with one pattern, reticular lines, and one color, brown. This is a lesion with one pattern, parallel lines, and one color, brown. This is a lesion with one pattern, clots, and the clots are brown. Here we can see two patterns, clots in the center and reticular lines at the periphery, but the arrangement of patterns is symmetric, not chaotic. Here it's the other way around, clots at the periphery, reticular lines in the center. It's symmetric, not chaotic. Here this, of course, is chaotic. Chaotic in terms of patterns, reticular lines and structureless, and in terms of colors. Structureless in the center, reticular lines at the periphery, but symmetrically arranged. This is a symmetric arrangement of two patterns, structureless in the center and reticular lines at the periphery. It's also a symmetric arrangement with regard to color, dark brown or black in the center and light brown at the periphery. So now we have described lesions according to their pattern and their colors. Sometimes we need to differentiate between bingo and bongo, and we need to have additional clues to make this discrimination. For example, these two lesions have similar patterns. On the left side you see a lesion with a reticular pattern at the periphery and a structural center, but the structural center is skin-colored and raised. On the right side you have the same two patterns, structureless in the center, reticular at the periphery, but now the center is white, not skin-colored. White because it's whiter than the surrounding skin, and this is a clue to dermatofibroma, yes. So the lesion on the right is a dermatofibroma and the lesion on the left is a congenital nevus. Here is another example. Clinically, very small lesion, only 4 mm. Dermatoscopy, you see a lesion with a chaotic arrangement of patterns and colors, but you see a clue to melanoma. Yes, here at the periphery there are two pseudopods, and pseudopods are a clue to melanoma and should not be present in the nevus, except in Reed's nevus. But in Reed's nevus they are symmetrically arranged around the entire periphery. This lesion is chaotic in terms of colors and also in terms of patterns, but what's the diagnosis? Well, there's a specific clue to the correct diagnosis. At the periphery you can see vessels and also gray dots arranged in lines. This is a good clue to pigmented bones disease. Now, where are all the metaphorical terms gone? Well, we don't need them. We can describe every criterion in dermatoscopy without metaphorical terms. We can use just simple language. For example, that's a BCC. You see radial lines at the periphery? Well, yes, that's what they are. If you like, you can call them leaf-like areas, but it's not necessary. You see cobblestones? Yes, but I see only large polygonal clods. You see fingerprints in a solar lentigo flat ZK? I see curved lines. You see blue ovoid nests? I see blue clods varying in size and shape. You see red lagoons? I see red clods. Here it's a BCC. You see spoke wheels? Well, I prefer to see radial lines converging to a central dot or clod. What this should show you is that the metaphoric language is not really necessary. We can use only 5 basic elements, lines, dots, clods, circles and pseudobots, to describe every structure we see in dermatoscopy. And this makes life really easy.